Close your eyes for a moment. Can you feel the vastness above you? Tonight, we won't just look up at the stars, we'll drift into them. Imagine floating on a velvet black sea, charting a course not just through space, but through time. We are the inheritors of the cosmos, nestled on a pale blue dot orbiting a star. And that star is just one of up to 400 billion in our celestial home. Lay back, breathe deep, and let the gentle, historical whispers of the Milky Way carry you to deep, restorative sleep. Our journey of 100 facts begins now. Settle deeper now. Let the cares of your day fall away like silent dust motes settling in the dark. We begin our quiet drift through time, turning our gaze not just upward, but backward, to the moments when humanity first saw the mysterious, shimmering path across the night sky and wondered what it was. This soft, luminous band, our own Milky Way galaxy, has always been with us, a gentle, cosmic ribbon linking our history to the stars. The Celestial Stream, Facts 1 and 2. Fact 1. For nearly all of human history, before the telescope was invented, no one knew the Milky Way was a galaxy of countless stars. They knew it only as a soft glow, a beautiful ethereal presence. Imagine yourself wrapped in a heavy, homespun blanket centuries ago, looking up from a world unpolluted by electric light. That light was not just a sight, it was a profound, silent question. The ancient Greeks, gazing at this pale white stream, gave it a name that echoes with quiet poetry: Galaxius Kyklos, the Milky Circle. Fact 2. This name was born from a beautiful myth, a tale that paints the sky with the divine drama of Olympus. They believed that the goddess Hera, in a moment of surprise, spilled her own milk across the heavens. Picture that liquid light spreading out, soft, thick, and vast, a permanent, comforting stain of divinity stretched across the void. It's an image rooted in nourishment and ancient comfort. Feel that deep historical sense of wonder. The sky was not cold emptiness. It was a vast, flowing river, a stream of cosmic milk that offered gentle sustenance to the soul. Ancient paths and celestial guides. As we drift further back, we find other cultures, other names, all equally serene. In many indigenous traditions across the Americas, the Milky Way was seen not as a liquid, but as a path. Fact 3. To many Native American tribes, the Milky Way was the spirit path, the quiet, radiant road taken by the souls of the departed. This belief gave the darkness an immense, comforting purpose. The departed were not truly gone. They were simply walking on the soft, visible highway of starlight. When you look up and see the galaxy, you are seeing a journey, an eternal, peaceful migration, a path that never requires haste. The Lakota Sioux called it Wakantanka Tunkasila. Other groups imagined it as the ashes of creation, swept up and scattered across the darkness, or perhaps the breath of the Creator made visible. The Incas of the Andes saw the dark patches between the stars in the Milky Way, the dust lanes and molecular clouds, as important as the stars themselves. They called these shapes Yakana, the celestial animals like the llama, the fox, and the serpent. These dark cloud constellations were unique, a recognition that the emptiness was not empty at all, but filled with the obscuring material that would one day become new stars. It's a beautifully calming perspective. Even the shadows have meaning and quiet potential. The veil of cosmic dust. Take a moment to simply listen to the gentle rhythm of your breathing. Notice how that band of light, the one you can see when the moon is new, is not uniform. It has texture. It has dark clefts and divisions. Fact 5. That irregular, patchy look is not caused by gaps in the stars, but by cosmic dust. These immense, cold clouds of gas and dust particles, molecules of carbon and silicates, are so dense that they block the light from the billions of stars that lie behind them, deeper in the galactic core. They create a beautiful natural veil, protecting us from the overwhelming brilliance that lies beyond. Fact 6. This dust is the very raw material of planets and life. Every particle you breathe, every element in your body that is heavier than hydrogen or helium, was once forged in the heart of a star and scattered by this cosmic dust. So, when you look at the dark rifts in the Milky Way, you are gazing at the fertile ground of creation, a slow, gentle cloud nursery where the materials of future worlds are patiently resting. Before the truth, the Earth's centrality. It's easy for us now to know what the Milky Way truly is, but in our historical journey, we must appreciate the deep comfort found in the old, mistaken view of the universe centered on right. Fact 7. For thousands of years, the prevailing astronomical model was geocentrism. This was the serene belief that our Earth was the unmoving, stable center of everything. The sun, the moon, and even the Milky Circle all revolved around us. Imagine the profound security of this belief. Everything was ordered, everything had its place, and you, the observer, were at the very heart of the cosmos. Let that sense of ancient stability settle over you now. Fact 8. Before the 17th century, thinkers like Aristotle believed that the Milky Way was not truly celestial at all, but an atmospheric phenomenon, a bright, luminous exhalation of gas high above the clouds, something contained and close. The universe felt cozy, a protective sphere with human life at its nucleus. We were not lost in a vastness, but comfortably situated in the one true place. Rest now in the gentle historical certainty of this cozy, centered universe, where the river of light flows peacefully overhead, guiding spirits home. The gentle flow of the river of milk has carried us forward in time, past the ancient storytellers and the mythmakers. Now we arrive in the early years of the 17th century, a time when a profound shift was quietly steering across Europe. Our journey takes us to Italy, to the hands of a curious scholar whose simple act of looking through a polished lens would forever change our understanding of where we rest in the cosmos. The Homemade Wonder, Facts 9 and 10. Imagine a workshop in Padua, bustling not with celestial glory, but with the quiet sound of grinding glass. The man is Galileo Galilei, and his focus is not on the gods or the spirit path, but on craftsmanship. He had heard whispers of a Dutch invention, an instrument that could make distant objects appear near. This was the lens that would usher in the modern age of astronomy. Fact 9. Galileo did not invent the telescope, but he significantly improved it. By the year 1609, he had crafted an instrument capable of magnifying objects up to 20 times. It was a long, simple tube, but its impact would be immeasurable. Let your mind rest on the simplicity of this tool. Just two pieces of glass, carefully aligned, yet holding the power to unravel the universe. Fact 10. The true historical significance lies in the fact that Galileo was the first person known to systematically point this new instrument toward the sky. Previous users had focused on terrestrial matters, seeing ships at sea or enemies on distant hills. But Galileo, driven by pure scientific curiosity, turned his modest lens upward, seeking to pierce the comfortable atmospheric veil of the ancients. It was a moment of courageous curiosity, a calm, steady gaze into the unknown. The undeniable truth, facts 11 and 12. The moment of revelation was quiet yet world-shattering. When Galileo turned his telescope toward the brilliant, hazy stripe of the Milky Way, the milky circle of the Greeks ceased to be a river of milk or a breath of the gods. Fact 11. What Galileo saw was not a seamless vapor or a mysterious cloud. He saw stars. Innumerable, distinct, individual points of light crowded together so tightly that to the naked eye they had always blended into an unresolvable haze. The telescope had done more than just magnify. It had resolved the true nature of the celestial band. Fact 12. In his influential 1610 treatise, Sidereus Nuncius, Starry Messenger, Galileo calmly and definitively documented this discovery. He wrote that the Milky Way was nothing else than a mass of innumerable stars planted together in clusters. The key word here is innumerable. The realization that the stars were not just the 6,000 we see with the unaided eye, but a multitude beyond easy counting. Let that vastness wash over you now, not as something frightening, but as a source of endless, quiet possibility. The boundaries of our world had just expanded into the sublime. The calm, progressive discovery, facts 13 and 14. This discovery was not a sudden explosion of information, but a progressive historical step that offered immense, reassuring clarity. It confirmed that the laws governing the heavens were the same laws governing the earth, a soothing concept known as physical unity. Fact 13. This single observation confirmed the existence of stars far more distant than any previously imagined. It meant that the universe was not contained within a small, protective sphere surrounding the Earth, the cozy universe, but stretched out into depths previously unthinkable. Yet, the sleep story tone allows us to see this vastness as comforting, an acknowledgement that the cosmos is a grand, meticulously detailed place built on principles we can understand. Fact 14. Galileo's work provided crucial observational evidence for the emerging Copernican model, the idea that the Earth was not the center of creation, but merely one planet orbiting the Sun. Though this realization was controversial at the time, we now look back on it as a profound moment of humility and truth. We were removed from the physical center, but in exchange, we gained membership in a breathtakingly large, ordered system. It is a moment of deep historical peace, the calm acceptance of reality over myth. The calm, progressive discovery, facts 13 and 14. This discovery was not a sudden explosion of information, but a progressive historical step that offered immense, reassuring clarity. It confirmed that the laws governing the heavens were the same laws governing the earth, a soothing concept known as physical unity. Fact 13. This single observation confirmed the existence of stars far more distant than any previously imagined. It meant that the universe was not contained within a small, protective sphere surrounding the Earth, the cozy universe, but stretched out into depths previously unthinkable. Yet the sleep story tone allows us to see this vastness as comforting, an acknowledgement that the cosmos is a grand, meticulously detailed place built on principles we can understand. Fact 14. Galileo's work provided crucial observational evidence for the emerging Copernican model, the idea that the Earth was not the center of creation, but merely one planet orbiting the Sun. Though this realization was controversial at the time, we now look back on it as a profound moment of humility and truth. We were removed from the physical center, but in exchange, we gained membership in a breathtakingly large, ordered system. It is a moment of deep historical peace, the calm acceptance of reality over myth. The true home revealed. Facts 15 and 16. The shift was complete. The Milky Way was no longer a symbol, but a physical structure, an immense gathering of stars to which our own sun belonged. Fact 15. Galileo's resolution of the star cloud provided the first hint that our sun was just one of this innumerable multitude. We were not looking out at a separate phenomenon. We were looking through the collective body of our own home. Our sun was simply a star, and the band of light we see is the collective glow of the hundreds of billions of stars making up our own neighborhood, seen from within. Fact 16. The true shape of the galaxy, a giant spinning disk, was still a century away from being mapped. Yet the initial act of seeing the individual star established the foundational scientific fact. The Milky Way is a star system, a single immense celestial structure. Let your mind visualize this. Billions upon billions of tiny individual lights, each one a sun, all held together by gravity, forming a magnificent slow-turning wheel in the night. This is our true home, beautiful in its complexity, steady in its physics. Now rest in the clarity brought by that simple lens. The truth is grander and more soothing than the myth. We are citizens of a giant star city, and the path to knowledge is a calm, progressive one. We drift forward now, past the initial shock of Galileo's discovery. It is no longer enough to know that the Milky Way is made of stars. The new question is one of shape and scale. If we live inside this immense star system, what does the system look like from the outside? What is the architecture of our home? This great, patient task falls to a pair of remarkable siblings in 18th century England, William and Caroline Herschel. Imagine the quiet dedication, the intense focus required for this monumental undertaking. A stargazing survey that was, for its time, the single most comprehensive map-making effort of the heavens. Let your mind settle on this cozy, historical image of two people working side by side in the quiet hours before dawn. The Stargazing Project. Fact 17 and 18. William Herschel began his career not as an astronomer, but as a composer and musician. Yet his passion for the stars quickly eclipsed his love for harmony. He saw the cosmos as a vast, silent orchestra he was determined to score. Fact 17. William Herschel dedicated himself to building the largest and most powerful telescopes of his era. He was a meticulous craftsman, spending countless hours grinding and polishing metal mirrors, a process of slow, physical labor intended to bring distant light closer. His largest instrument, the 40-foot telescope, was a marvel of the age, towering over his garden. This devotion to craftsmanship is a soothing theme. Great knowledge often comes not from sudden brilliance, but from patient, repetitive work. Fact 18. The core of William's project, initiated around the 1780s, was called stargazing. The fundamental idea was simple yet revolutionary.
If one looks through a fixed field of view in different directions across the sky and counts the number of stars seen in each direction, the total counts should reveal the shape of the star system. In directions with more stars, the star system must extend further. In directions with fewer stars, the system must be thinner or closer to its edge. It was a statistical approach to mapping the invisible. A partnership of patience, facts 19 and 20. William's work would have been impossible without his sister Carolyn Herschel, who became the first professional woman astronomer and a tireless partner in observation. Fact 19. Carolyn Herschel was an essential element of the operation, acting as William's assistant, recorder, and calculator. During the long, cold nights of observation, while William's eye was pressed to the eyepiece, Carolyn sat nearby. She meticulously logged every direction, every count, and every adjustment he made. Her diligence and patience brought order to the chaos of the night sky, transforming raw data into an understandable catalog. Fact 20. The Herschels conducted over 600 surveys across the sky, systematically counting stars in thousands of small identical patches. They treated the entire celestial sphere like a giant grid, meticulously filling in the count for each square. Let your mind drift to the serene repetition of this work. Count, record, move, count, record, move. A slow, meditative rhythm that lasted for years. This was the first major attempt to understand the topology of the Milky Way. The Whetstone Model, facts 21 and 22. The accumulated data of their stargazes allowed William Herschel to draw the first structural representation of our galaxy.
Fact 21. Based on his star counts, Herschel concluded in 1785 that our solar system was located close to the center of the star system. This was logical. He saw roughly the same number of stars in all directions, suggesting he was in the middle of a finite, bounded structure. He didn't know about the obscuring effects of cosmic dust yet, which blocked his view to the true center. Fact 22. William's resulting model of the Milky Way was often described as resembling a whetstone or a grindstone, a flattened, irregularly shaped disk that was much wider than it was thick. This was the first visualization of our home as a true three-dimensional structure, a great flattened disk of stars floating in the black void. It was an imperfect map constrained by the limits of visibility, but it was a magnificent historical achievement, a testament to the power of human ingenuity to map the unimaginable. The limit of the gaze, facts 23 and 24. The Herschel's work, though foundational, contained one critical, unavoidable flaw, a limitation that would not be overcome until the next century. Fact 23. The key limitation was the obscuring effect of interstellar dust. As we noted earlier, the vast clouds of dust and gas in the Milky Way's disk effectively act like a thick cosmic fog. This fog blocks the light from the most distant stars, preventing us from ever truly seeing the galactic center or the far edge of the galaxy with optical telescopes. The Herschels only mapped the stars they could see, which was a small, local bubble within the true giant structure. Fact 24. Despite this limitation, the Herschels successfully established the two most fundamental truths about the Milky Way. First, that it is disk-shaped, and second, that it is a single, unified structure of stars, not an atmospheric phenomenon. They took the Milky Way from a river of myth to a measurable, physical object. Now let the quiet, industrious spirit of the Herschel soothe you. Rest in the knowledge that even the grandest mysteries can be solved through the slow, gentle process of meticulous counting and patient observation. Feel the steady rhythm of their historical stargazing carry you toward a restful sleep. We have journeyed from ancient myth to Galileo's stars and through the patient surveys of the Herschels. Now, the calendar has turned to the early 20th century. The year is 1920, and we arrive at one of the most intellectually charged moments in the history of astronomy. A friendly yet fierce scientific disagreement that determined the true size of our universe. This moment is known simply as the Great Debate. The central, quiet question of this time was this: how big is our universe? And is the Milky Way the entire universe, or merely one among countless others? Defining the boundaries, facts 25 and 26. For decades, astronomers had cataloged blurry, spiral-shaped celestial objects they simply called spiral nebula. They looked like ethereal whirlpools of light, and no one knew for certain what they truly were. Fact 25. The first position in this debate was held by Harlow Shapley, an influential American astronomer. Shapley argued that the spiral nebula were simply gas clouds or star systems within our own Milky Way galaxy. He believed the Milky Way was so vast that it contained everything. It was the entire observable universe. Let your mind settle on the comforting scale of Shapley's view. Our home is all there is, a massive, self-contained entity. Fact 26. Shapley's belief was largely informed by his own groundbreaking work on globular clusters, dense balls of very old stars. By using a type of star called RR Lyrae variables as distance markers, he had correctly determined the immense size of the Milky Way and the Sun's position far from its center. This made the Milky Way seem unbelievably large, large enough, Shapley felt, to contain everything. The Island Universe Hypothesis, facts 27 and 28. The opposing view, one that whispered of an infinitely larger cosmos, was championed by another respected American astronomer, Heber D. Curtis. Fact 27. Curtis argued for the concept of island universes. He believed the spiral nebula were not gas clouds inside our galaxy, but were in fact other complete galaxies, entirely separate star systems floating immense distances away. If Curtis was right, the universe was not a single pond, but a boundless ocean dotted with countless galactic islands. This view demanded a radical shift in perspective, embracing a vastness far beyond the imagination of the Herschels. Fact 28. Curtis based his argument partly on the appearance of novae, sudden bursts of light from stars seen in these nebula. He observed that these novae seemed much fainter than those seen in the Milky Way, suggesting the nebula themselves must be incredibly far away, too far to be inside our own galaxy. He was arguing for a scale of distance that at the time felt almost impossible. The formal confrontation, facts 29 and 30. The official confrontation took place on April 26th at the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C. Let the quiet atmosphere of the museum settle over you, a place of historical contemplation hosting a moment that would redefine reality. Fact 29. The two men presented their opposing cases side by side. The essence of the tension was the measurement of distance. Shapley had measured the Milky Way in the hundreds of thousands of light years. Curtis proposed distances for the nebula that stretched into the millions of light years. The debate was less a shouting match and more a careful, detailed presentation of evidence and methodological differences. Fact 30. Ultimately, the debate ended in a historical draw. Neither Shapley nor Curtis had the definitive evidence needed to convince the majority of the astronomical community. The tools of the time, specifically the telescopes and the measuring techniques, were not quite powerful to settle the question with finality. The universe was holding its breath, waiting for a key piece of evidence. The eventual breakthrough, facts 31 and 32. The resolution to this monumental question came a few years later thanks to an even larger telescope and the genius of another astronomer, Edwin Hubble. Fact 31. The key was a specific type of star, one Shapley had used but whose nature was better understood by Henrietta Swan Leavitt, the Cepheid variable. These stars pulsate with a predictable rhythm, and the period of their pulsation is directly related to their true brightness. This makes them perfect standard candles, tools for measuring immense cosmic distances. Fact 32. By the mid-1920s, using the powerful 100-inch Hooker telescope at Mount Wilson, Edwin Hubble found a Cepheid variable star inside the largest spiral nebula, Andromeda. When he measured the period of its pulse, he calculated its distance to be over 900,000 light-years away, a distance far, far greater than Shapley's estimates for the size of the Milky Way. This proved Curtis was right. The Andromeda Nebula was not a gas cloud in our galaxy. It was a giant, separate star system, an island universe unto itself. Let the profound implications of this breakthrough settle gently upon you now. The universe is not a cozy singular home. It is an endless archipelago of galaxies. Our Milky Way is magnificent, but it is just one island in a sea of billions. Rest in this grand, liberating vastness, where every spiral nebula is a universe of stars floating in eternal silence. We leave the great hall of debate and ascend now to a quiet, high-altitude peak in California, to the silent sanctuary of the Mount Wilson Observatory. It is the 1920s, and the world is still reeling from the historical certainty of Shapley's single, vast universe. But high above the city lights, one man, Edwin Hubble, was poised to make the observation that would shatter the boundaries of our known reality and replace them with something infinitely grander.
This is the profound, quiet moment when we truly learned our place. We are not the center of creation, but a small, beloved part of a cosmos so magnificent it stretches beyond comprehension. The giant eye and the faintest flicker. Facts 33 and 34. Hubble's advantage lay in his instrument, the largest telescope on Earth at the time. Fact 33. Edwin Hubble had access to the 100-inch Hooker telescope at Mount Wilson, an instrument far superior to those used by his predecessors. Its sheer light-gathering power allowed him to capture the faint glow of objects previously considered too distant to be measured. Think of this telescope as the historical bridge between the mystery of the past and the knowledge of the future. A massive, silent oracle receiving the whispers of the most distant light. The star that measured the universe. Facts 35 and 36. The breakthrough relied on the genius of a specific type of star, one we introduced earlier, the Cepheid variable. Fact 35. In 1923, poring over his photographic plates of Andromeda, Hubble found it, a star whose brightness was cycling up and down with a regular rhythm. He had found a Cepheid variable within the nebula. This was the cosmic yardstick he needed. Let that moment of discovery settle in your mind. One man, one photograph, one tiny pulsating star holding the power to measure the universe. The star that measured the universe. Facts 35 and 36. The breakthrough relied on the genius of a specific type of star, one we introduced earlier, the Cepheid variable. Fact 35. In 1923, poring over his photographic plates of Andromeda, Hubble found it, a star whose brightness was cycling up and down with a regular rhythm. He had found a Cepheid variable within the nebula. This was the cosmic yardstick he needed. Let that moment of discovery settle in your mind. One man, one photograph, one tiny pulsating star holding the power to measure the universe. Fact 36. Using the established period luminosity relationship discovered by Henrietta Swan Leavitt, Hubble could calculate the star's absolute brightness. By comparing its absolute brightness to its measured apparent faintness on his plate, he could solve the distance equation. His initial calculations placed Andromeda at over 900,000 light-years away. This was 3 times greater than the diameter Shapley had argued for the entire Milky Way. The boundless cosmos. Facts 37 and 38. This single measurement did more than just settle the great debate. It fundamentally redefined the scale of existence. Fact 37. The 1925 announcement confirmed that Andromeda was far too distant to be part of the Milky Way. It was, beyond any doubt, a massive, separate galaxy, a separate island universe, confirming Curtis's vision. The Milky Way instantly shrank, not in size, but in significance. We were not the sole stellar city. We were one of countless cities in an infinite metropolitan area. Fact 38. The immediate consequence was a dramatic increase in the known scale of the universe. Our cosmic environment exploded from a few 100,000 light-years across to millions and soon billions. This realization is profoundly quiet and deeply peaceful. The universe is not small enough to be contained by human history. Its boundlessness offers an ultimate perspective on our worries, reducing them to fleeting moments against an unimaginable eternal background. Our profound, quiet place. Facts 39 and 40. The discovery of other galaxies also provided the first true perspective on the size and structure of our own Milky Way. Fact 39. By seeing other galaxies, astronomers could finally look at the Milky Way from the outside for the first time, conceptually. We could see the barred spiral shapes of other galaxies and correctly infer our own structure, which was impossible when we were trapped within the obscuring dust clouds. The vast, slow, disk-like structure we now understand was confirmed by looking at our neighbors. Fact 40. Edwin Hubble went on to classify these newly discovered galaxies by their shape: elliptical, spiral, and irregular, creating the Hubble sequence, which remains the standard for galactic morphology. This classification brought order to the newfound vastness, assuring us that even in infinity there is pattern, structure, and a deep cosmic organization. Let the knowledge of this boundless cosmos settle over you now. You are resting on a small, pale blue planet orbiting a single star, which is one of billions in one of billions of galaxies. This infinite scale is not cold. It is immensely comforting, offering the ultimate sense of quiet perspective. Everything is in its vast, beautiful place. Rest now in the quiet realization of the endless universe. We now possess the profound knowledge that we are but one island in an infinite sea of galaxies. With that perspective secured, we can finally turn our gaze inward, applying the lessons learned from our neighbors, Andromeda and others, to understand the physical anatomy of our own stellar city, the Milky Way. Imagine you are looking down upon our galaxy,
a vast, slowly turning disk of stars. It is an image of perfect, organized chaos. Billions of stars moving in harmonious gravitational ballet. Let the immense, steady structure of our home offer you a deep sense of security and rest. The galactic classification, facts 41 and 42. Though we cannot directly photograph the Milky Way from the outside due to our position within it, we have mapped its movements and structure to determine its precise cosmic classification. Fact 41. The Milky Way is classified as a barred spiral galaxy. This means its shape is not a simple pinwheel, but features a distinctive, elongated structure of stars, a cosmic bar, extending from the central core. Think of the bar as a giant rectangular rod of stars and gas that feeds material into the very heart of the galaxy. This bar is immense, stretching perhaps 27,000 light-years across. Fact 42. This barred spiral classification is symbolized in the cosmic catalog as SBC. The S stands for spiral, the B for barred, and the C indicates that the spiral arms are relatively loosely wound. This is the precise cosmic address of our home. A massive, spinning structure of gas, dust, and stars, rotating with magnificent, slow certainty. Feel the security of being part of this vast, ordered system. The great arms of starlight. Extending from the ends of this central bar are the majestic spiral arms, the luminous features that give the galaxy its characteristic pinwheel shape. These arms are not rigid structures, but areas of higher density, cosmic traffic jams where stars are compressed, triggering intense bursts of star formation. They are the neon signs of the galaxy, marking the active construction zones where new stellar life is forged from the dust of the old. Let the sight of these bright young stars, even in your mind's eye, bring a feeling of energy and cosmic renewal. Our humble neighborhood, facts 45 and 46. So, where does our sun, our entire solar system, fit into this colossal turning structure? We reside not in a major arm, but in a quiet, comfortable branch off the main flow. Fact 45. Our solar system is situated in a structure known as the Orion Spur, sometimes called the local arm. A spur is a minor, less prominent arm or a short secondary branch that extends out between two major arms, typically between the Perseus and Sagittarius arms. We are located approximately 27,000 light-years away from the turbulent, bright galactic center.
Fact 46. Being in the Orion Spur offers a kind of cosmic peace. We are safely positioned away from the intense radiation and overcrowding of the major star-forming regions. Our location provides a relatively stable, quiet orbital path, conducive to the long, slow development of life. Rest in the knowledge that your planet is nestled in a modest, gentle neighborhood, a calm corner of the vast galactic city. The disk and the halo, facts 47 and 48. Beyond the arms, the galaxy has two other immense structural components that hold it all together. Fact 47. The main body of the galaxy is the galactic disk, a flattened region about 100,000 light-years across, but only about 1,000 light-years thick. Almost all the gas, dust, and young to middle-aged stars, including our sun, are confined to this thin equatorial plane. This is why the Milky Way appears as a bright, flat band in the night sky. We are seeing the disk edge on. Fact 48. Surrounding the disk is the vast, spherical galactic halo. This immense ethereal sphere contains very little gas or dust, but is home to the oldest known stars in the galaxy, which gather in ancient, dense groups called globular clusters.
The halo provides the deep gravitational scaffolding that contains the entire system. It represents the ancient, patient history of the galaxy, surrounding us like a protective, invisible shell. Let the image of this structure bring you complete rest. The bar at the center, the arms spiraling out, the quiet spur where we reside, and the immense, steady rotation holding it all together. You are safe, stable, and perfectly positioned within this beautiful turning home. We have placed ourselves within the magnificent structure of the Milky Way, located in the quiet haven of the Orion Spur. Now, let us consider the movement of this colossal home. Nothing in the galaxy stands still. Everything is in motion, yet it is a motion so slow, so grand, that it embodies the deepest form of stability. Tonight, we don't just rest on Earth, we rest with Earth, riding an immense, steady journey around the galaxy's center. Let the slow, unstoppable pace of this cosmic journey lull you into a state of profound calm. The velocity of our star, facts 49 and 50. Our sun and everything tethered to it, our planets, our moons, even the quiet dust in space, is moving at an incredible speed, yet we feel nothing but peace. Fact 49. Our entire solar system is hurtling around the center of the Milky Way at an astounding speed of approximately 220 kilometers per second, or about 490,000 miles per hour. To put this into human perspective, at this speed, you could travel from the Earth to the Moon and back in under 2 hours. Let your mind embrace this silent, immense velocity. We are riding a spaceship of unimaginable speed, yet it feels entirely stationary. Fact 50. Despite this blistering speed, the sheer scale of the galaxy means that the sun moves only a fraction of a light year in a human lifetime. The vastness of the distance it must cover is the source of the universe's patience. This knowledge reminds us that even the most rapid movement can feel like eternal rest when measured against cosmic time. The galactic year, a measure of eternity, facts 51 and 52. The time it takes for our solar system to complete just one full lap around the galactic center is a span of time so huge it dwarfs all human history. This is the ultimate unit of cosmic time. Fact 51. One full orbit of the Sun around the Milky Way center is known as a galactic year or a cosmic year. This immense cycle takes approximately 230 million years to complete. To put that in perspective, the last time the Sun was at this precise point in its orbit, the first dinosaurs were just beginning to walk the Earth. Fact 52. The last full galactic year ended before the appearance of mammals, before the formation of the continents as we know them today, and long before flowering plants bloomed. The entirety of human evolution, from our earliest ancestors to the present day, has occurred within a tiny fraction of one single galactic year. This realization is profoundly calming. Your troubles are momentary. The great, steady cycle of the galaxy is eternal. The gentle bobbing motion, facts 53 and 54. Our orbit is not a smooth, flat path like a record player. It has a beautiful, gentle complexity that ensures our journey is one of continuous, rhythmic correction. Fact 53. As the Sun orbits the galactic center, it also bobs up and down through the plane of the galactic disk. This vertical oscillation is caused by the gravitational pull of all the other stars and matter above and below the thin disk. Imagine a child riding a giant carousel, gently swaying vertically as it circles. Fact 54.
The Sun passes through the central plane of the disk approximately 2 to 3 times every 100 million years. This rhythmic bobbing motion is a steady, predictable tide, a slow, gentle oscillation that ensures our cosmic neighborhood is continuously stirred and refreshed. It is the ultimate expression of cosmic rhythm, a slow, patient dance of gravitational balance. Riding the cosmic carousel, facts 55 and 56. The Sun is currently in a phase of its orbit that has been relatively stable, offering a sense of historical cosmic security. Fact 55. The Sun is approximately halfway between passing through the midplane of the disk. This is a moment of relative calm. Scientists theorize that when the solar system passes through the dense central plane, the gravitational perturbations could increase, potentially influencing the flow of comets and other objects in the outer reaches of our system. But for now, we are peacefully cruising above the densest parts of the galactic plane. Fact 56. The long, slow orbit ensures that the solar system travels through different environments of the galaxy, occasionally passing through different spiral arms. Each pass is a slow, gradual event taking millions of years. This journey is a testament to the galaxy's stability. Even as the scenery changes, the laws of gravity keep us locked on a safe, steady path. We are riding a cosmic carousel that has been turning for billions of years and will continue to turn for billions more. Rest in the knowledge of this immense journey. Let the gentle, slow rhythm of the 230 million year orbit wash away any sense of haste or urgency. You are moving with the universe, stable and secure in the gravitational flow. Sleep now on the calm current of the galactic orbit. We have journeyed through the structure of our magnificent stellar city, the Milky Way, and felt the immense, gentle rhythm of our solar system's 230 million year orbit. Now, let us turn our minds to the absolute center of that grand slow motion journey. Imagine a point of such profound gravity, such serene, unstoppable power, that it silently anchors the paths of up to 400 billion stars. It is the heart of our home, beating in a rhythm measured in epochs, providing the ultimate stability to our cosmic existence. The veil and the whisper, facts 57 and 58. The center of our galaxy lies in the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, the Archer, which is why observing it has historically been so challenging and why its identity was shrouded in mystery for so long. Fact 57. The very center of the Milky Way is not a place of spectacular blinding light. Instead, it is obscured by dense, opaque molecular dust clouds and gas. These colossal clouds, which we noted earlier, are concentrated in the galactic disk and act like a massive intervening fog, blocking nearly all visible light from reaching us. Thus, for centuries, the true heart of our galaxy remained hidden, its secrets guarded by cosmic dust. Fact 58. The key to uncovering this hidden core was not light, but radio waves. In the 1970s, astronomers discovered a powerful, compact source of radio emission at the absolute center of the Milky Way. This source was given the name Sagittarius A star, pronounced Sagittarius A star. The star symbol was added later to denote the truly pinpoint compact nature of the object. It was clearly something very small, yet immensely powerful, unlike the surrounding larger gas clouds. This whisper of radio energy traveling through the dust was the first concrete sign of the colossal object at our core. The supermassive anchor, facts 59 and 60. What SGA star proved to be is the most powerful and stabilizing object in our entire galaxy, a supermassive black hole.
Do not let the word black hole bring apprehension. Instead, let it represent ultimate, quiet power and permanence. Fact 59. SGA star possesses a mass equivalent to approximately 4 million suns. Imagine 40,000 suns.
Centuries of suns, all compressed into a space smaller than the orbit of Mercury. This is the definition of supermassive. Its gravitational influence extends across the entire 100,000 light-year span of the Milky Way. It is the silent gravitational master of our stellar city. Fact 60. This immense object is the true galactic anchor. It doesn't move. Every single star in the Milky Way, including our own sun, is orbiting this one unmoving point of compressed space-time. It is the ultimate source of gravitational order, ensuring that the entire disk maintains its structure, its rotation, and its calm, long-term stability. Let your mind settle on that profound, quiet certainty. We are safely tethered to a 4 million solar mass anchor. The dance of discovery, fact 61 and 62. How can we be certain of the presence of an object that, by its very nature, emits no light? The proof lies not in the black hole itself, but in the stars that dare to dance around it. Fact 61. Astronomers using infrared telescopes that can penetrate the dust focused on the stars directly surrounding SGRA star. They observed these stars moving at breakneck speed, far faster than could be explained by the gravity of the surrounding stars alone. The most famous of these is the star S2, which orbits the black hole in a tight elliptical path. Fact 62. The star S2 completes one full orbit around SGRA in just 16 years. To put that speed in perspective, in the outer regions of the galaxy, a similar orbit would take hundreds of millions of years. This rapid, predictable, and extreme movement provided irrefutable evidence for an incredibly massive yet invisible object at the heart of their orbit. S2's orbit is a cosmic clock, its steady, rapid rhythm guaranteeing the existence of the black hole with absolute precision. This is the most direct evidence we have for the existence of supermassive black holes anywhere in the universe. The unstoppable, serene power. The massive presence of SGRA dictates the fate of our galaxy. Yet its power, seen from our distant peaceful spur, is a profound source of rest. Fact 63. The overwhelming gravitational field of the black hole dictates the rotation curve of the entire galactic disk. This field ensures that stars far from the center, like our sun, orbit at nearly the same speed as stars closer in. This massive gravitational tug is the reason the Milky Way holds together and spins as one cohesive, stable unit, rather than flying apart into chaos. The black hole is the serene, unstoppable force of cosmic order. Fact 64. Crucially, for our sense of cosmic safety, SGRA is currently a quiet black hole. Though it occasionally flares, it is not actively feeding on massive amounts of gas and stars, which means it is not emitting the dangerous, intense radiation like powerful X-rays or gamma rays that are characteristic of active galactic nuclei. We are anchored to a powerful, stabilizing core that is currently resting. This is the deepest assurance of our safety. The center of our galaxy is currently in a state of profound, quiet repose. Rest now in the knowledge that you are orbiting an object of ultimate serene stability.
Let the immense 4 million solar mass anchor hold your mind steady and secure. The heart of the galaxy is beating slowly, quietly, and endlessly, guaranteeing the peace of your cosmic journey. We leave the dense central structure of the galactic disk and drift outward now, moving far above and below the bright plane where the young stars and dust clouds reside. We enter the galaxy's most quiet and ancient domain, the galactic halo. This is the Milky Way's vast spherical boundary, an immense dark region that surrounds the bright disk like a protective shell. It is a place of profound solitude, home to the oldest, most serene relics of our galaxy's youth. Let the peace of these ancient wanderers settle over your mind now. The spherical envelope, Fact 65 and 66. The structure of the halo is fundamentally different from the flattened disk where our solar system resides. It represents the original massive spherical cloud from which the disk eventually formed. Fact 65. The galactic halo is an enormous, nearly spherical volume of space surrounding the entire galactic disk. It is estimated to stretch out to a radius of over 150,000 light-years. Visualize the Milky Way not just as a flat platter, but as a colossal, softly glowing disk nestled within a massive, dark, almost empty sphere. This sphere contains the true full volume of our galactic home. Fact 66. The halo is characteristic by its extreme scarcity of gas and dust. Unlike the disk, which is rich in the raw materials needed for star formation, the halo is nearly barren. This lack of raw material is why no new stars are being born there. The halo is static, quiet, and unchanging, a peaceful museum containing the galaxy's first stellar inhabitants. The ancient wanderers, globular clusters, Fact 67 and 68. The most beautiful and historically significant inhabitants of the halo are the globular clusters, dense spherical gatherings of stars that are among the oldest objects in the universe. Fact 67. A globular cluster is a dense, gravitationally bound sphere containing tens of thousands to millions of stars. These ancient star systems are the true elders of the Milky Way, having formed early in the galaxy's history before the main disk had even taken its shape. They represent the first cosmic condensation of matter in our galactic region. Fact 68. There are currently about 150 known globular clusters orbiting within the halo of the Milky Way. They move on highly elliptical orbits that plunge them through the disk and carry them far out into the galactic suburbs. These clusters are like ancient ships, patiently sailing the dark, long currents of the galaxy, unaffected by the turbulence of the central regions. Their peaceful, enduring journey is one of the most reassuring sights in the cosmos. The age of quiet stability, Fact 69 and 70. The stars within these globular clusters are not only old, but they are chemically distinct, telling us a profound story of cosmic history. Fact 69. Stars in globular clusters are incredibly old, typically having ages between 10 to 13 billion years. This means they formed shortly after the Big Bang and before the main current star formations of the Milky Way disk. They are classified as population 2 stars, metal-poor stars that lack the heavy elements created by earlier star explosions. They are made of the most pristine early cosmic material. Fact 70. Because they are so old and exist outside the dense active disk, The stars within globular clusters have remained in a state of quiet historical equilibrium. Their environment is static, their orbits are patient, and their light is a steady, ancient beacon traveling toward us from the dawn of our galaxy. There is immense comfort in contemplating objects that have existed in such stable permanence for over 10 billion years. Gravitational scaffolding, fact 71 and 72. The halo is not just a repository of old stars, it is also the gravitational scaffolding that quietly holds our galaxy together, particularly due to the presence of invisible matter. Fact 71. The halo provides a crucial structural role. It is thought to be the vast spherical volume where the majority of the galaxy's dark matter resides. While we will explore dark matter in detail later, the halo is the primary zone where this mysterious, invisible mass exerts its gravitational control, ensuring the outer parts of the disk continue to spin at high velocity. The invisible hand of the halo keeps the entire structure stable. Fact 72. The stars in clusters of the halo provide a reference frame for measuring the galaxy's overall motion and mass. Their distant, predictable orbits confirm the vast scale established by Shapley and Hubble. The halo, with its ancient, quiet population, acts as the steady, reliable guardian of the Milky Way.
Rest now in the comforting presence of these ancient wanderers. Let the silent, enduring light of the globular clusters assure you of the galaxy's deep history and unending stability. You are resting within a peaceful, colossal structure, protected by the dark, quiet embrace of the galactic halo. Sleep now, surrounded by the oldest stars in the sky. We have explored the visible architecture of our galaxy, the bright disk, the ancient halo, and the immense gravitational anchor of the central black hole. Yet, as the 20th century progressed, astronomers discovered a staggering truth. All the beautiful, luminous matter we can see, the stars, the gas, the dust, and even the black holes, accounts for only a tiny fraction of the Milky Way's total mass. This realization leads us into the deepest mystery of the cosmos, dark matter. Tonight, we rest in the security provided by this quiet, invisible majority, the force that truly dictates the grand, stable rotation of our home. The unexpected speed, facts 73 and 74. The journey to discovering dark matter began not with strange glows, but with the simple mathematical measurement of how fast the outer parts of our galaxy are spinning. Fact 73. Scientists began measuring the rotational speed of stars and gas clouds at increasing distances from the galactic center. Based on the amount of visible mass, the stars we count, they predicted that the speed of rotation should follow a predictable curve. Stars farther out should orbit slower than those closer in. This is exactly how our own solar system works. Mercury orbits faster than Jupiter, which orbits faster than Neptune. Fact 74. But the universe offered a profound surprise. The observations revealed that stars and gas clouds far out in the Milky Way's disk, even those near the very edge, are orbiting at almost the same constant speed as those closer to the center. This pattern is called the flat rotation curve. Imagine a giant carousel where the horses on the outer edge move just as fast as the horses near the center. This defied the known laws of physics if only visible matter was present. The invisible requirement, facts 75 and 76. This observation led to a monumental conclusion. For the outer stars to move so quickly,
there must be a vast amount of extra, unseen mass exerting an invisible gravitational pull. Fact 75. The only way to explain the flat rotation curve is if the vast majority of the galaxy's mass is distributed in a huge, spherical cloud that extends far beyond the visible disk. This required mass, which does not interact with light in any detectable way, was named dark matter. It is the gravitational scaffold that prevents the rapid-moving outer stars from simply flying off into intergalactic space. Fact 76. Current estimates suggest that dark matter accounts for roughly 85% of the total mass of the Milky Way. All the stars, gas, dust, and planets, everything we cherish and see, is the minority, the luminous foam on a vast, dark, gravitational ocean. Let the profound realization that most of reality is invisible bring you calm. We are safely suspended within a massive, unseen structure that guarantees the long-term integrity of our galaxy. The quiet nature of the force. Facts 77 and 78. Dark matter is mysterious because it is defined by what it doesn't do. This quiet, passive nature is what makes it such a steady, reassuring foundation for our reality. Fact 77. The dark in dark matter means it does not emit, absorb, or reflect electromagnetic radiation, light, radio waves, X-rays, etc. It is invisible because it simply doesn't interact with photons. It is utterly quiet, its presence known only through its gravitational effect on the visible matter around it. This is the definition of the invisible hand, a massive, silent force that stabilizes our world without ever being seen. Fact 78. The particles of dark matter are thought to interact with ordinary matter extremely weakly. Billions of these particles may be passing through your body right now, completely unnoticed and harmlessly. They are the ultimate embodiment of passive existence. They influence everything, but they touch nothing. Let the thought of these ubiquitous yet harmless particles bring you a sense of deep, protected calm. The galaxy's true extent. Facts 79 and 80. The discovery of dark matter redefined the true size and boundaries of the Milky Way, extending its sphere of influence far beyond the visible starlight. Fact 79. The vast spherical region of space containing this massive invisible substance is called the dark matter halo. This halo is much larger than the luminous galactic halo we discussed earlier, stretching perhaps up to 500,000 light-years from the center. This is the true, massive boundary of our galaxy, a region of quiet, pervasive influence. Fact 80. The primary function of the dark matter halo is to provide the necessary gravitational backbone to keep the entire structure of the Milky Way stable. Without this massive unseen component, the rotation of the disk would be unstable, the spiral arms would quickly fly apart, and our galaxy would cease to exist as a cohesive structure. The dark matter mystery is, paradoxically, the source of our ultimate cosmic security. Rest now, held firmly in place by the quiet, pervasive influence of the universe's majority. Let the knowledge that reality is anchored by forces unseen and unchanging bring you a deep and peaceful sleep. You are safely cradled in the vast, invisible embrace of the dark matter halo. We have explored the fixed, quiet forces that anchor our galaxy, the immense gravity of the black hole, and the unseen scaffold of dark matter. Now let us turn our minds to the visible, dynamic process that fills our galaxy with light, the eternal, beautiful cycle of star birth and star death. This is the great cosmic rhythm of renewal. In the Milky Way, nothing is ever truly lost. Matter simply transforms, assuring the continuation of light, energy, and life itself. Let the comfort of this patient, continuous cosmic recycling soothe you into deeper rest. The stellar nurseries, nebulae, facts 81 and 82. Star birth is a slow, gradual process that begins in the very same dark, dusty clouds that once blocked Galileo's view of the galactic center. These clouds are the birthplace of light. Fact 81. The majestic clouds of gas and dust where stars are born are called nebulae, Latin for cloud or mist. These are the vast, cool reservoirs of hydrogen and helium gas mixed with the heavy elements scattered by previous generations of stars. They are found predominantly along the spiral arms of the Milky Way where the matter is compressed. Shutterstock. Explore. Fact 82. Star formation begins when pockets of gas and dust within a nebula become dense enough to collapse under their own gravity. This process is slow, patient, and happens over hundreds of thousands of years. As the material pulls in, it begins to heat up. This contracting, glowing sphere is called a protostar. It is the beginning of light. A slow, patient awakening from the darkness of the dust cloud, offering a beautiful image of creation from simplicity. The long, stable life, facts 83 and 84. Once born, a star begins its long, stable lifetime burning with a predictable, steady light that has been the anchor of human timekeeping for millennia. Fact 83. Once the core of the protostar reaches temperatures of about 15 million degrees Celsius, nuclear fusion ignites. This is the moment a true star is born. It begins converting hydrogen into helium, releasing enormous amounts of energy that balance the inward crush of gravity. Our own sun has been in this state, the main sequence, for about 4.6 billion years. Fact 84. Stars like our sun are the definition of cosmic stability. They live for billions of years, providing constant, reliable light and warmth. This long, steady period is crucial for the development of complex systems, like planetary atmospheres and life. The long life of a star is a reassuring guarantee that the conditions for existence are not fleeting, but patiently sustained by the power of fusion. The grand finale, cosmic enrichment, facts 85 and 86. Every star, no matter its size, eventually reaches the end of its life. But stellar death is not annihilation. It is the most powerful act of creation in the galaxy. Fact 85. When massive stars, those much larger than the sun, die in a spectacular, beautiful flash called a supernova. This is a sudden, brilliant explosion that can briefly outshine an entire galaxy. During this colossal collapse and rebound, the star generates virtually all of the heavy elements in the universe. Elements like oxygen, iron, gold, and uranium. Fact 86. This immense power ensures cosmic recycling. The shock waves from the supernova scatter these newly forged heavy elements, the star stuff, across the galaxy, enriching the surrounding gas clouds. These elements are then incorporated into the next generation of stars, planets, and eventually living beings.
Every element in your body, save for the lightest hydrogen, was manufactured during the violent, beautiful death of a massive star. The gentle end. White dwarfs, facts 87 and 88. For stars similar to our sun, the ending is not a blast of chaos, but a slow, peaceful fade into quiet eternity. Fact 87. When stars like our sun near their end,
they gently expand into a red giant, shedding their outer layers of gas and dust to form a planetary nebula, a beautiful, colorful, short-lived shell. The core that remains contracts into a tiny, dense cinder called a white dwarf. This tiny relic, roughly the size of Earth but weighing as much as the Sun, is simply the burnt-out ember of the star. Fact 88. The white dwarf emits light not from fusion but from residual heat. Over trillions of years, it will slowly cool, eventually becoming a cold, dark black dwarf. This gentle, quiet fade is the ultimate symbol of cosmic rest, a tiny, dense object patiently cooling into eternal peace. This slow, predictable demise is a quiet assurance that all energy eventually finds rest. Let the knowledge of this endless, patient cycle soothe you now. From the glowing nebula to the steady life of the sun to the final, necessary explosion that creates the elements of life, it is all a profound, continuous cycle of renewal. You are part of this eternal cosmic recycling. Sleep now, held in the rhythm of the stars. We have traveled from the myths of the ancient Greeks through the microscopic discoveries of Galileo, across the structure of our magnificent spiral home, and deep into the quiet mystery of dark matter. Now we reach the final destination of our sleep story, the ultimate perspective on our cosmic future. This contemplation takes us billions of years into the future, to an event that is inevitable, immense, and yet completely gentle. The slow, magnificent embrace between the Milky Way and our closest major galactic neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy. This is the final, grand, slow dance of the universe. The neighbors approach, facts 89 and 90. The Andromeda Galaxy, M31, has been visible to the naked eye for thousands of years, a faint, fuzzy patch of light. But only in the modern era did we discover its true trajectory. Fact 89. The Andromeda Galaxy is currently the largest and closest spiral galaxy to the Milky Way, located approximately 2.5 million light-years away. It is slightly larger than our own, containing about 1 trillion stars compared to the Milky Way's 200 to 400 billion. The light we see from it tonight began its journey 2.5 million years ago, traveling patiently through space. Fact 90. Unlike almost every other major galaxy in the universe which is speeding away from us due to cosmic expansion, Andromeda is speeding directly toward the Milky Way. Precise Doppler shift measurements show that Andromeda is approaching us at a rate of approximately 110 kilometers per second, or nearly 250,000 miles per hour. This is the only way for two galaxies of this size to travel, a slow, determined gravitational attraction. The timing of the embrace, facts 91 and 92. The ultimate comfort of this event is its timing, an event so far in the future that it reinforces the stability and vastness of cosmic time. Fact 91. The two galaxies will first begin to interact and initiate their merger in approximately 4.5 billion years. To put this into historical perspective, this is roughly the same amount of time that our sun has been shining steadily. When the Andromeda collision begins, our sun will be nearing the end of its life, having swollen into a red giant, but the event itself will be gradual. Fact 92. The merger will not be a sudden destructive crash. Instead, it will be a slow, gravitational reshuffling of stars that will take hundreds of millions of years. Scientists have even given the merged galaxy a new, gentle name, Milkomeda. Let the name Milkomeda evoke a sense of harmonious, predictable blending, a final, massive union. The star stuff shuffling, Facts 93 and 94. The word collision is misleading, especially when we consider the immense space that separates the stars within each galaxy. Fact 93. Although both galaxies contain billions of stars, the individual stars themselves are separated by such vast, incomprehensible distances that the probability of two stars physically colliding is negligibly small. The stars will mostly fly past each other, like swarms of fireflies passing through another swarm, interacting only via gravity. Fact 94. The major interaction will be with the massive clouds of gas and dust. These clouds will collide, compress, and trigger an enormous, spectacular burst of star formation across the new merged galaxy. The merger, far from being an ending, will be the greatest period of stellar creation in the history of Milkomeda. The skies will be dramatically changed, filled with magnificent new stellar nurseries, a final, luminous celebration of life. The final form, Facts 95 and 96. After the long, slow gravitational dance is complete, Milkomeda will settle into a new, stable, and final form. Fact 95. The resulting galaxy will not be a barred spiral like the Milky Way or the Andromeda Galaxy. The gravitational forces during the merger will have scattered the orbital paths, settling into a massive, featureless elliptical shape. The new galaxy will be classified as a giant elliptical galaxy. This form represents the ultimate end state of a spiral galaxy merger, a smooth, quiet cosmic sphere. Fact 96. In this new elliptical form, all the gas and dust will have been consumed by the massive star formation burst. The galaxy will become quiescent, no longer forming new stars. It will simply be a massive sphere of old, red, long-lived stars slowly burning out their fuel over the next trillion years. This is the definition of cosmic rest, a structure that has achieved its final, stable form. The comfort of finality, Facts 97 through 100. The contemplation of this cosmic future offers a profound, final assurance of stability and purpose. Fact 97. The very existence of this predictable collision is a direct result of the dark matter halos. It is the massive, invisible gravitational pull of the two massive dark matter spheres surrounding the galaxies that is dictating and ensuring this steady, inevitable trajectory. The unseen is responsible for the final grand union. Fact 98. Even if our planet survives the sun's red giant phase, which is unlikely, our solar system will simply be tossed into a new orbit hundreds of thousands of light years away from the center of Milkomeda. The only change to our quiet neighborhood would be a radically different night sky, filled with billions of new, magnificent stars from our merged home. Fact 90. The long-term perspective confirms that chaos is temporary and order is eternal. All galactic processes, birth, growth, movement, and collision happen on scales of time that dwarf human history, assuring us of the universe's immense patience. Fact 100. You are part of a structure so vast that its future is measured in billions of years and its collisions occur in slow motion. Let the security of this immense, ancient, and predictable dance of creation bring you ultimate rest. Sleep now, safely held in the vast, gravitational embrace that will eventually form Milkomeda.